What's up, everybody? Back on a really cold Saturday morning, and needing to get back into the diesel, into Project Old Bones over here. Pulled it into the garage this morning and gonna get to work on it. It's been a long time since I've updated everybody on Old Bones and really even done anything to it. It's just been kind of sitting for a little while. Had a tire go flat on me and just had other things going on in life, you know how it goes. And so just didn't get back to getting anything done on Old Bones. Had a few more projects, you know, the 55 obviously, and the 635 up there on the rack got in the way. But now it's time to get back to Old Bones. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to be unboxing some performance goodies that I got in a few weeks ago, and we're going to be putting them on today and see what kind of difference it makes. I am going to do I'm going to try to do, I don't know if I can do this every time, but I'm going to try to do a 0 to 60 performance test on every upgrade I make. And so I'm not going to just be throwing a ton of stuff on it and then doing a 0 to 60. As each upgrade happens, I'm going to do a 0 to 60 and kind of give you guys the difference in the seat of the pants feel also. So here we go, getting started on Project Old Bones. Alright, so I got these couple of boxes in full of good performance goodies. This first thing I've got here is this Speed by Spectre performance filter. It's a cone style filter that's going to go on the front of a new intake system that I'm putting on. And then I got this box in from KB Diesel Performance Products. Opening it up, and it's got this cool sticker they included. So man, thanks guys. I love stickers. Second thing we've got, looks like a couple of silicone tubes, intake tubes. So set those aside for a second. Good thing about a good World War II Jeep, it becomes a really good shelf when you need it. Alright, so we got some clamps, looks like. Really nice big clamps, okay. And then, if I can get this open without dropping it. Looks like it looks like just like an intake pipe. I think this is blue anodized if I remember right. So I'll set it over here on the Jeep shelf. Got a couple of bolts here. Let's see, what's this? Oh, this is the actual intake manifold itself that sits on top of the engine. So we'll open that up here in a second. And let's see, is there anything else in here? Nope, that looks like it's it. So thank you, KB Diesel Performance. I'll put a link below to the actual item so you can go directly to it and order it. And there she is, boys. Project Old Bones. She's dirty. She's been neglected for the past few weeks. I just haven't been driving her very much, but she's in a warm garage now, got the heater on, and we're going to start working on her. Alright guys, so I got the pieces unwrapped, and a good thing is I did not get blue. It's been so long since I ordered these that I forgot what color it was. I'm not too much of the boy racer kind of guy, and black is definitely like where I like to stay when I choose color components. So I'm really happy that I unwrapped them, and they're not blue anodized, they're black anodized. So this is the intake tube. This is actually the intake manifold itself, very heavy duty, man, thick metal, and then of course the black silicone connecting pieces. So basically there's 4 pieces here, guys. There's 4 clamps, actually a little more than 4 clamps, and then some bolts, and that's it. A pretty easy install. And you know, I don't know if it's gonna make a gigantic difference in the overall performance, but we're gonna find out. This is the kind of the stock look. Just popped the hood to show you kind of what it looks like right now. Obviously we got to take that cover off, but the new intake manifold is going to go right underneath there. Obviously the new pipe there, and then it's going to come over here to the turbo and hook up, and then you've got a little elbow that's going to come out here, I imagine, and that's where I'll put that cone filter. So kind of it's going to go right in this general area. This truck does have a K&N filter in it, so you know, one of the things I am a little bit concerned about is with the cone filter sitting off the front there, it's going to basically be getting hot air coming in, whereas this has got this flange that goes into the fender and actually has a cold air intake essentially, because it's outside the engine compartment. So all this is going to be coming off, and basically that piece right there into there is going to be coming off. Not sure how much it's going to affect the performance because of the hot air intake. Not really sure. I should, from a sound wise, you know, that whistle from your turbo, I think you should be able to hear that a little bit better with the cone style filter, but we're going to find out. Alright guys, so I'm getting ready to put these silicone hoses onto the actual pipe itself, kind of a crossover pipe. A little trick that I like to use is get some of this kind of soapy detailing fluid and just spray it on the inside there, wipe it around with your finger, and then kind of shake it out to get all the excess off, and then makes going into this pipe a lot smoother. Alright, I got the actual intake tube and silicone hoses on in the manifold on top there, so relatively easy, guys. I would say that's from a project hardness standpoint, 0 to 10, I don't know, probably a 2. It wasn't that bad. Hardest part was really just getting the silicone hoses on, but just use some lubricant and it should be fine. Got everything lined up and cinched down. Now I'm moving over to this air box and the air intake. One thing I am a little concerned about is this looks like some sort of scavenge, like emissions thing, almost like a PCV valve, maybe even exactly what it is, but I'm just kind of guessing at this point. But it comes off, it looks like the one of the valve covers there goes up over this tube and comes into this intake system. So obviously if I switch over to this cone style system, that's going to come straight off the front of the turbo like so. I'm not going to have a part or a point where that emissions system can kind of go into. So not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it at the moment. I may just cap it off for now and then try to come up with some other, maybe there's an aftermarket piece that I just didn't see that you can purchase to put on the front of the turbo that comes out a little bit that allows this to go into it, and then your cone would sit on the front of that. I'm not sure, so I'll do some research. Okay, I ran into a little bit of an issue in the fact that this cone filter won't quite fit on the front of the turbo because of this air conditioner line is in the way. So looks like I'm going to have to get a 90 right there that comes out to here, and I'll basically set that cone right about there once I'm done. Right now I'm just going to try to get it on as good as I can, but then I'll come up with some sort of fix later. So I just cannot get this cone filter to fit on there with that AC line in front of the turbo like that. But guess what I found? I was scavenging through trying to kind of my extra parts I've kept. I have no idea what this is for. I don't know what it came off of. It looks like a brand new item. I just found it kind of in my junk bin, and man, this is going to work. Well, it's not exactly the way I'd want it finished product, but I used that silicone extension on that piece I scavenged just basically to extend out past this AC line, and then I could tuck that cone filter down right between the battery and the AC compressor. So it actually worked out pretty good. It's not touching anything. It is rubbing a little bit on the battery, so I don't necessarily like it right there, but until I can get an elbow and stick it right over here, you know, that's good enough for now. Now all I got to do is cap off this oil line, and we're gonna go take it for a test. Alright guys, I've got the truck kind of warmed up a little bit here, and I'm going to get my app open on this 0 to 60 speed. Hopefully it's working again today. It keeps saying GPS signal is very poor. Again, it's a really overcast day. I don't know, you know, it's starting to actually drizzle a little bit here. It's below freezing, so it could get interesting tonight. Intake system on, ran some 0 to 60 runs like I showed you, and overall I'd say this is probably a 3 on hardness level. I mean, it wasn't that bad at all. It was maybe even a 2. Probably, you know, if you were really just working on it by yourself and really focused on it, you probably get it done in 30 minutes. I mean, if that. Obviously, when you're trying to film things, it takes a little bit longer sometimes. But I'd say this is a really good, you know, easy afternoon project for your diesel. Seat of the pants, I said earlier, I felt a little bit. I could feel it was maybe a little quicker on the high end, you know, 40 through 60. Overall, though, you know, it's not making a drastic difference. 0 to 60 times, I would say probably knocked a second off of my 0 to 60. But as I've shown before, I don't do this really scientifically, you know, correct. So, you know, give or take a second there. I got times as low as 17, but I also got times as high as, you know, 21, 22, 23. So I think the road varies quite a bit. It is a really cold day. It's below freezing, so it's not hot or anything like that, so that didn't affect performance. You know, I do have a little bit of weight in the bed of the truck that I didn't have on the last test, so that may have affected it a little bit. You know, I've got probably 200 pounds, well, probably more than that, about 300 pounds, because I've got some salt and some other, you know, some wood and things like that back in there. So I would say, you know, it could easily, this intake system could easily knock off at least a second, if not a second and a half to 2 seconds off of your 0 to 60 time. So, you know, for the money, I would say it's a pretty good investment. It's really easy to put on. Looks pretty cool under the hood. Thanks for everybody for subscribing and watching and commenting. And guys, here's your diesel video. So I promised I'd get back on that, and I apologize it took so long. So guys, thanks for watching Epic Cars. God bless. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bells for notifications, send me messages, let me know what's going on. If anybody can tell me what that oil hose is, kind of a return oil hose, I'd appreciate it. Guys, take care.